afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, October 18th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a Time for Change call this Wednesday at 9 p.m. and a Reverse Aging Health call on Friday at 9 p.m. Always trust yourself. That's very difficult for some of us. Always trust yourself. Your inner guidance is strong, and it knows the right next step for you. Simply be still and listen to that small, quiet voice that naturally arises inside. Follow the path that feels the most expansive and brings peace to your innermost being. It is the one that brings joy to your heart, heals your soul, relax. Your always heart knows the way. And it's just, for some of us, it's not that easy to trust ourselves. And it's not that easy to trust the universe. And the reason that is because of the ego mind. It interrupts, intervenes. Actually, the ego mind doesn't want you to be at peace with yourself. The Holy Spirit's voice is as loud as your willingness to listen. The Holy Spirit's voice is as loud as your willingness to listen. A Course in Miracles. Perhaps one of the most essential, useful, and powerful tools we can develop as human beings is the ability to listen. If you can train yourself to access the stream of divine intelligence, wisdom that is available to you, you will become unstoppable in your life, this life. There is a powerful and highly creative universal intelligence inside each and every single one of us right now, waiting for us to tune into it. Divine guidance knows exactly what actions, decisions, and life path we need to take that will create our greatest possible success in this life. This divine inner voice has always been speaking to us, trying to get our attention since the moment we were born. Everywhere you go, it is within you, sending you extremely personal messages that will allow you to manifest whatever it is that you desire or want in your life. What the caterpillar calls the end of the world, the master calls a butterfly with your book. If you feel challenged with listening to this divine guidance within, it's likely that you have become overly addicted to your mind, hooked into the dramatic stories of what the mind is thinking, perceiving, and believing all the time. You become caught in the incessant chatter of thoughts that flood your consciousness. Most people don't realize they have a choice whether they are going to pay attention to their mind or not. They simply follow the mind wherever it goes, like a blind sheep following the flock as the mind continuously tries to solve its problems. The moment you become aware of this very subtle yet deeply unconscious addiction, you've taken your first step towards absolute freedom. A problem cannot be solved on the same level that it was created, Albert Einstein. As often as you can, let yourself become submerged, and the gap between words is a space between each thought. And if you allow your consciousness to rest there, you will find that the mind's agenda doesn't take precedence. You'll discover that you can take a step back away from the mind, become more conscious, and actually hear this subtle wisdom speaking. In this backstage approach, you'll notice that the divine can only arrive when you're patient, not rushing or demanding that it comes. When you're the most relaxed, receptive, and feeling spacious, you can easily communicate with your higher self. It mainly depends on how willing you are to let go of your addiction to the ego's daily agenda, getting its demands met. And hear this gentle divine whisper that arises from your gut. Everything people experience in their outer life corresponds exactly to something that is going on in their inner life. Brian Tracy. You don't have to create silence. It's already here. It's more about your quality of listening that shifts everything. Listen to the stillness that is beneath your mind chatter right now. It's not about turning up the volume on your inner guidance, but more about creating a space of silence within and noticing how you're listening. Where are you listening from? From the mind, the ego, the soul, or perhaps from the universal mind's perspective? The moment your mind is completely quiet, you'll start experiencing your own divinity everywhere you go. And it's totally amazing. You'll hear it through your radio, TV, internet, books, magazines, friends, families, neighbors, etc. When silence becomes your God, you will begin seeing, hearing, and feeling this all-loving, infinite presence in everyone and everything. When the mind is no longer in the way, analyzing, judging, comparing, and criticizing everything and everyone, including you, life becomes simply divine. Make your life a mission, not an intermission. Glasgow. In contradiction to popular consensus, when we do less in this life, we actually accomplish more. Now, I know that sounds a little bit strange for some people, because we've been taught to just scrape and pound and work to the work right down to the bone. In contradiction to popular consensus, when you do less in this life, you actually accomplish more. And what I mean by this is that less efforting to get somewhere better allows you to relax and tune into the divine intelligence that is already inside. We are too busy getting things done or procrastinating, getting the things we need to get done. We cannot relax and listen to our inner guidance. Have you ever sat there and said, so what do you think, Jim? What are we going to do with this? Let's think about it for a minute here. Let's feel about it a minute here. Attempting to listen to higher intelligence through an overly active mind is really like trying to hear the sparrow's morning song hidden in a massive oak tree filled with squawking blackbirds. The birds are so concerned about what is going on in the world and talking so loudly about it that they miss out on enjoying the abundant life they're sitting on. Don't live your life like a squawking bird. Simply watch your mind. Don't buy into its story. Whenever your mind gets addicted to some idea in the past or future, just sit back and say, thank you, squawking blackbird, and return to resting in silence. Very soon you'll hear the little sparrow's message deep in the background. There is a wonderful mythical law of nature that the three things we crave most in this life, happiness, freedom, and peace of mind, are always attained by giving them to someone else. Dayton Conway March. One key rule to know is that the more you try to force silence, the more you'll miss it. The infinite source is already pouring through each and every one of us. Trying to force us is like forcing ourselves to breathe. It just doesn't work. When we can let go of our attachment to what we think our ego needs to be happy, then we've just hit the lotto jackpot. Divine wisdom is the biggest gold mine of them all. If Spirit keeps calling you and is getting a busy signal, you're working way too hard to create what you want in this life. The divine source has been trying to contact us every day for a millennia. Yet, if you're paying more attention to the mind and this world, nothing spiritual or cosmic comes through. It's a big jump, yet dropping everything you believe is the world is how awakening begins. Dropping everything you believe is the world is how awakening begins. If you'd like to experience a profound peace in your life, this life, and begin this awesome awakening progress, you might want to take a silent retreat. When you're willing to have a spiritual experience, spend at least one weekend alone in total silence with no communication with the outer world. Take a true sabbatical from your phone by letting someone else keep it for a week. Read no books during this time. Don't listen to any external information or music. Eat very simply. Raw fruits, vegetables are the best. Do yoga. If you don't know, learn it. Take long walks in nature twice a day. Focus on relaxing into your greatest possible stillness. Do not speak out loud to anyone. Just be with yourself in the silence. You will soon find yourselves, your true self, as it magically happens on its own. You'll get to face your smaller self and embrace all the fears that you have been keeping prisoner inside. When you return to the normal activities of your daily life, you'll be able to become the center of the cyclone and find peace with all the desires the mind has been chasing. The difference between what the most and the least learned people know is inexpressibly trivial in relation to what that which is unknown, Albert Einstein. If you cannot find the courage, time, or money to take a weekend alone, you can still discover this great peace within. Any moment you feel yourself getting tired, needing to rest, or slowing down, instead of picking up a book, talking with a friend, checking your email, or turning on the TV, just turn off your cell phone. Sit with your presence inside. Be present to who is witnessing this moment. No matter where you are, take the mind by surprise and ride your consciousness in. Go beyond the chatter to the source of the empty, the emptiest place you can find. Be absolutely ruthless and radical. There is no other way to transcend the mind. When you find there are no thoughts, no feelings, no past, and no future, then you have arrived someplace very special. If you could allow yourself the experience of nothing less, rest deeply and completely into it. Give yourself permission to be nothing or no one for as long as you can take it. The results are literally mind-blowing. We are all very, very, very deeply, eternally loved to receive even 3 seconds of a mind empty of thoughts. Even 3 seconds of a mind empty of thoughts. When you can find the void, enjoy bathing in the void. It might be scary on your first time approaching it, yet when you truly let go and allow it to take you, it's better than coming home. The state of pure emptiness is where our connection to the God source is most pure. Now, you may have noticed in your life, this life, that whatever you're in, whenever you're in a deep state, a deep sadness, at the very edge of your limit, hitting rock bottom, you let go of life and empty everything out. This is when we often feel closest to God. The emptiness is the doorway for divinity to find you. Emptiness is also where your greatest manifesting powers abide. It is the resting grounds of your infinite magical nature. You can tap into your deepest reservoirs of willpower and imagination in the core of emptiness. It just takes complete surrender to this moment with pure awareness to remain there. People are like stained glass windows. They sparkle and shine when the sun is out, but when the darkness sets in, their true beauty is revealed only if there is a light from within. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. It can seem like an eternity for the mind to let go of everything and deliver you to nirvana. Yet, it is worth the ride, since the effects of total bliss will impact everything in your life. If you get stuck on how to get to emptiness, forget it. It is not a how-to, but rather a deep state of letting everyone and everything go. It just happens through you the moment you release all efforting and be totally empty of all thought right here and right now. When there is nothing that is more important in your life than inner peace, you'll find this sweet emptiness inside. Simply open yourself up to it and trust it. If it doesn't happen suddenly, just wait. Keep asking for it, and you'll arrive soon. It's like you know you'll end up eating your dinner sometime tonight. You cannot predict the exact second yet. You just start eating the very moment when you let go of resistance and surrender to your deepest hunger. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path, and then leave a trail. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Deep inside your being is a powerful awareness that is very awake, present, and aligned with the isness. For today, sink into and surrender to that which is already present, already listening, always watching, and always aware. It is an experiencing, and allow your awareness to guide you through whatever experiences you have in your body and mind, and trust that it is all you will ever need. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I am sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax these bodies we're in, head to toe, inside and out. Now, knowing that we aren't the body, we are not the mind, we are not the ego, we aren't the personality, we're not the character. We look at the body as a sponge and a highly powerful magnet that just attracts everything. Everything. Imagine tens of millions of thoughts, programs basically, running by. We've got all these thoughts like clouds in the sky, like a super highway, but they're not ours. If they come in and they aren't created within and then go out, they are not yours. So we know that we've all got a library, personal, private library. It's called our subconscious mind. And in that library, there's everything. You name it, it's there. Throughout our lives, we store everything there, even when we aren't consciously aware that we're storing. Every comment, every statement, everything that these eyes see, everything that these ears hear, everything that we feel is stored in the subconscious mind. You can go visit it anytime you want. You've got the key. It's the only key. And you can walk in there anytime you feel like it. So we know that the body absorbs all of this. And we know we carry these thoughts, these worries, these fears, these anxieties, frustration, hurriedness, all kinds of stuff. We don't ever sit back and relax and say, where does all this come from? Where is this really? Where is this coming from? This isn't me. It's not the God that I am. It seems it's just unending that all of these thoughts come in. And then you begin to realize is that your thoughts, when you generate the thought, when you take energy, move it into form, bring it into reality, and then experience it. That's what we do. Now you can imagine if you're unconscious and you're doing this, how you would believe that it's coming from somewhere else. It can't be coming from within. It's coming from somewhere else, out there. So in order to relax the body, we release. We surrender. Surrender to our fears, anxieties, worries, conflicts, angers, revenge, and let it go. Because believe you me, we need all the room we can get because we're constantly filling it. It's almost like every day you do a spring cleaning of your thoughts. And the ones you want to keep that you feel are very, very good, you keep them. The other ones, let them go. Because you know what? They go into the subconscious mind. They're in that library. Thoughts that I have released. And you really don't care to look at them, but they're there. Nothing is ever wasted because there is no waste. Everything is an experience. So when you've identified and you understand, and hey, wait a minute, my body absorbs all this stuff that I generate by picking these clouds, these thoughts out of the sky, so I can release them all. And you can. And the only thing that keeps us from not releasing is fear. We're afraid to release it. We're afraid to face them. And when we face them, really seriously with ourselves, and we understand what they're there for, where they came from, as soon as that happens, they're gone. Now, we're such in a habit of doing this, that's why most of our bodies on this planet are so stressed out, heavy, lethargic, dragging. You could actually do an experiment. You could put ankle weights on, okay? And if you want to do this, it's real fun because then you can identify with it much more because it's a visual. But you put these ankle weights on, you wear them for a week, okay? Wear them to bed. And then after a week, take them off. And not for a long period of time, but very, very short period of time, you will feel like you can almost leap 100 feet into the air. And this is no different than when we decide to empty all the things that we don't really need to carry. Why would we carry worry, stress, and fear all the time? Because guess what? We're so powerful that we create more and more and more of it. The more we focus on it, the more we create of it. And it's very challenging for most of us, because of the fact that it's so real. And we're consumed by it. But when we let go of it, we start to realize, like the ankle weights, you feel light as a feather. Isn't it amazing? The less we have, the lighter we feel. Because we really don't have anything. We use things. We don't have them. We use them. They're really not ours. They're temporary. And we're constantly bringing in things to entertain us. We're constantly creating things to entertain us. Not all the things are great, though. So our main direction here is to ease the body, to put it at ease rather than dis-ease. Do you honestly think that all of these viruses that we get, colds and flus and diseases, are natural? They're far from it. So as you relax the body, and that body relaxes and becomes light, move in to the now. And you focus on your breath. And our breath is super powerful. It really is. But we take it for granted. Oh, well, you have to breathe till you breathe. Some of us don't pay hardly any attention to our breath, and we barely breathe, and sometimes we don't breathe. Breath is divine positive energy. Soul comes into the body, powers up the body. Lungs operate. Take in oxygen. Oxygenate the blood, the whole body. When the breath is not available, the body can't sustain the kingdom of God, the God source. So it is divine, and it is positive. It's not negative. As long as we focus on the breath, we're in the now. The now is where we want to be. Everything happens in the now. Future is created in the now. We visit the past in the now. So our body relaxes, move into the now, focus on the breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And you come across in front of you, you look down and you see these three circles. Center one is just pristine, shimmering gold, almost like it's sparkling. Looks like it has hardly ever been used. And the one on the left is worn. That's the past. And the one on the right, the future, that's worn too, quite well. And what is it? What is the past? What's there? There isn't anything there. Those are all now moments that we experienced, and hopefully we got the experience that we were desiring or that the universe wanted us to have. And so that's a good thing. Now we reminisce. We, all of us, come up, we have these times, moments where we go in the past and look at things and review them and kind of a little bit relive them a little bit. Oh, that was a good time and everything. Oh, this wasn't too great. I'll never do that again. I learned my lesson there. And so, but we don't stay there because pretty much it's dead. It's like walking into a graveyard and expecting to have a conversation and a big party there, and there's nothing. Some of us will go into the past, but we stay there. We literally live in the past. Now, are we consciously aware of that? No, I don't believe so. For the most part. This is where other people will say, man, it's almost like they're living their past. They're always bringing up this and that and everything. And you'll find some people will dress like they did in the past. And so they will bring that past into a future that doesn't exist, create that future from that past, relive that past and that future. That's why the people that do this, they will always say, no matter what we do, we always end up here. Some of us will go in the future, and we're not exempt from any of it. We'll go into the future that doesn't exist because we create the future in the now. And what we do is we're asking ourselves, God, we want to know things. We want to know things in advance. When is this going to happen? That's attachment. When we do that, we suffer. That's expectation. When is this going to happen? And then, well, it's going to happen this time. When this time? When am I going to have more money? When am I going to have more freedom? When am I going to be healthier? When am I going to be younger? When am I going to feel good? Because you create the future in the now. And what is the future that you desire? So we have a constant opportunity to choose, to surrender, go within, relax the body, stay in the now. That sounds really easy, but it isn't, because we've become so habitualized on the status of the external material world and how we live our lives, with very, very little interaction with the gods that we are. Now, what happens when we wander? We're in the now, right? We're focused on our breath, but we wander. We go off we grab on one of those clouds and we float off. We all do it. Have you ever been driving and your mind wanders? You're thinking, you're off into all kinds of things. You're kind of in the body, out of the body, and you're driving, but you're not. It's weird. People go, that'd be really dangerous. Well, it is, but you have no fear of it because you're in a different place. So you continually, from the standpoint of saying, well, I can focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. I can focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. So you focus on your breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and you're in the now. And that chatter and that noise, gone. And after a while, you focus enough about being in the now, you'll be in the now the majority of the time. That's where you can actually walk through the doorway where the God that you are is. Now we know that the body that we're in houses, there are 7 lights from the tailbone to the top of the head. And they're called chakras. Chakra means wheel. wheels of light. And you, who you truly are, the God, flow through those 24/7. It's etheric spiritual energy. It's not a block of wood that you can pick up. You're, the God that you are, is etheric spiritual energy. And what does that mean? It means that you're connected to the quantum quark of that body. I mean, you're connected to everything. Emotions, organs, blood flow, skin, eyes, everything. Intimately. See, this means eventually you will meet with the God that you are, and you'll stay there, and then you'll start learning that you've always had the omnipotent power to heal that body whenever you wish. Right down to the atom. Now we know that our soul, the God that we are, enter these bodies and power these bodies up. Those of us who are consciously aware that we are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, that we are heaven on earth. The soul enters the body is the earth, the soul is the heaven. And every step we take, we're creating paradise. And we're shining our light 24/7, 360 degrees outward. Each of us affect millions on this planet. And this light, what is it? Love. The God force, love, light, energy, this house with each and every one of us in these bodies. It's immeasurable in power. And it floods this planet. That's what we all do all the time. Now, when you're conscious of where you're doing it, it is a blast. It is phenomenal. And we also know that if we left this planet, went in outer space, look at this planet. Planet would glow. Billions of gods. And then we would look at the surrounding light in the universe, and we would see that it would pale in comparison. We know that there are parts of us, the gods that we are, that are asleep. Now, does it mean they're not with us? This means that they're asleep. They don't participate in the meditations. They don't listen. They don't hear. For them, they have not woken. Woken. And there's the other parts of us that are consciously aware to a certain extent. Those are the ones that we literally communicate with. This is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And those numbers are in the gigaplexes. One gigaplex fills this universe with not even one sacred square inch of space to spare. And these are in trillions of gigaplexes from trillions of universes from every direction. That's the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Christ, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thought, Yahweh, Yeshua, all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath it. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes we've inhabited. All the off-worlders, the galactics, the celestials. Well, light energy beings, with our eyesight that we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. So we don't see them. We're familiar with some. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, mermaid, dolphin, the whale, Pegasus, unicorn, centaur, minotaur, many, many, many more. Now, the off-worlders, the celestials, the galactics, we're only familiar with just a handful of them because over 1,000 species travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. The ones that we're somewhat familiar with, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Feline, the Zeta Reticuli, the Anunnaki, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrates at a different frequency than we do. This is why we don't see them when we see each other. But we interact with them every lifetime. We meet with them, we talk with them. We don't know it really during the time. We kind of have a sense. And we usually, it dawns on us after we've interacted that we just have this feeling in our chest. It says, there's an angel. It wasn't just a, average conversation. And then you experience a little bliss. Now, they have a message that they send us. They give to us. And sometimes verbally, look like us. And the message is, isn't it absolutely magna, glorious, stupendous, marvelous to be alive in these bodies? Because as gods, as the souls, when we leave the body, we don't eat, we don't smell, we don't taste, we don't cry, we don't laugh, we don't feel in the physicality. It is absolutely marvelous to be alive in these bodies. That is total bliss. And that communication is so that we genuinely, deeply are grateful for every second we are in these bodies. Now, they can surround any one of us in the tens of thousands or millions if they choose. They can carry a large number in a small area because of their vibrational frequency. If you want them to, ask them. They will. That's bliss, too. We're all gathered, arm in arm, hand in hand, so to speak, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance, and we're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from where? The God force love light energy within each and every single one of us. This is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal love, gratitude, and peace. And we're flooding this planet. On it, in it, above it, and below it. We're flooding all of our brothers and sisters, whether they're awake or asleep, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, nonstop. We begin to ascend above the planet, and we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. Flashing, sparkling. Trillions of multicolored lights. We've never seen these kinds of colors. It's like a ballroom globe. It's all mirrored. This one's about 1 trillion times more intense and billions of times larger. So we look at the reflective point, and we go and enter. We discover that these are little microscopic, perfectly etched mirrors. So when we do go in, we discover that all of us gathered as parts of each other, as the gods that we are learning and teaching and learning from each other, with each other. So parts of ourselves that are the gods that we are learning from. And they are learning from us. Doesn't matter how life is housed, right? Doesn't matter. It could be a caterpillar, moth, bug, insect, squirrel, dog, cat, horse. Could be anything. And when we take the time and we focus on these things, and we understand that we are them and they are us, the gods that we are. Doesn't matter the size of the vessel, whether a blade of grass or a leaf on the tree, or the whole sky. Simply amazing. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are imbued with a white fire armor. This white fire armor emanates from the God source, the kingdom of God, within each and every one of us. We are protected 24/7. This armor is nothing like that that's on this planet. Way beyond. It's constant. It is a super high frequency. It is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest eternal love. The lower dark matter, survival matter frequency can come nearer that frequency because they'll vanish. So they don't come by us. No demon possession, attachments, nothing. You're literally protected 24/7. But only you, have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency, whether consciously or unconscious, through anger, fear, greed, revenge, envy, hurry, hatred, manipulation, deceit, dishonesty, you will lower your vibration frequency low enough to create a breach in your white fire armor. Enough to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. then the possibilities are endless. Lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, even possession attachments. If you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. First part of this column is the purple transmuting flame. We created a column to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are gone permanently. Then the other part is the violet ray. We created this column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white to pink light. This is the column of light that we created that reminds us all, the gods that we are in these bodies, that we are the sun, the sunlight, the sun sets and the sun rises, rain, rainbows, trees, forests, the soils, oceans, rivers, lakes, streams. Sky and clouds. All the animals. So the next time you view a sunset or a sunrise, rainbow, thunderstorm, starlit night sky, it is you. You're the divineness, the majesty, the spectacularness, the magna glorious, the beauty, everything. It is you, the God in that body. So when you do view it, you view it because it's you, the God that you are. You don't view it as the body, that it's beautiful. You view it because it's you. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above it if we're carrying physical form. And we do this because we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower, way beyond. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. We created it. In the center, we see this oblong sphere. Center of the sphere is a golden white ball of light. Golden white ball of light surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light. They're all sending out this sparkling mist, and it penetrates us like a warm embrace that never ends. Now, the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal love, truth, and peace. Then we have well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, tranquility, benevolence, great prosperity, great abundance, happiness, contentment, it's absolutely phenomenal. and it is the reflection of the gods we are. Now, at the top of this column, we design it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, as it's doing right now. Flooding all of us, saturating all of us, bathing all of us. And the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. We see our meditative spirit set center circle. We created this sphere moving towards 4 years ago. It holds over 1,600 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world gathered, growing every day. Because we're all one. We're all part of each other. And the ones that are the parts of the gods that we are consciously aware are here now. Instantaneously. The highest of the highest high of intense. Complete liberation, cleansing of this planet and the civilization. On it, in it, above it, below it. A new earth. A new existence. A new belief system. A new understanding. You can frequency on these meditations, every single one. Do these meditations that are in perpetual motion disintegrate, lose their power, energy, go away? No, they do the opposite. They continue to intensify and they continue to expand. That's why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, will be ever, beyond, and forever. That's why it is all of us. We're affecting trillions of pieces of the gods that we are throughout the cosmos. This is a magical moment when we are truly present to it. We can deeply enjoy our lives in all its mysterious, mystical ways. And as we open ourselves to the possibility, this moment really does contain magic, and deeply relax into it, then we become magical for today. Hold the intention to be intimately, deeply, and completely connected to the magic of this entire universe. Become so unified with this field of energy and intelligent love that we cannot help but to experience the divine, infinite beings we all truly are. I'll join you in a meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. We are all here to share love and be loved. Love is the cause of joy in our lives, and fear is the cause of all suffering. And each moment is our choice as to what we wish to experience. Check it out. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. And we will return here Tuesday, October 19th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.